Well, unfortunately, on a day where we should have been only discussing the superb performance from Chelsea away from home at Tottenham, a big rivalry, a team under pressure, Frank Lampard having lost 2 or 3 of his Premier League games recently to teams that they should have beaten. That should have been the only thing we were discussing today. But unfortunately, as I said, we're back at the same old subject that we've had to touch on too many times recently, and that was the reports of racist abuse to at least one Chelsea player, Antonio Rudiger, but maybe more, from a section of the Tottenham crowd, which was reported by the Chelsea captain, Cesar Azpilicueta, to the referee Anthony Taylor, who went across to the sidelines, informed the 4th official and the 2 managers of the football clubs, and ultimately a stadium announcement was made, not once, not twice, but eventually 3 times. The game continued, but it certainly sullied what was a magnificent performance. And the big question is, particularly off the back of the incident 2 weeks ago at Manchester City, where United players were racially abused, and that City fan, I believe, was ultimately arrested, and there have been others, incidents in England, there's not getting away from that, and in Europe in general, there has been many, many issues of racial incidents during this season alone, particularly in Italy, where they seem to be kind of happy to brush it under the carpet a little bit. So the question would be, what should they do about it in the Premier League? Now, it's a difficult subject. I've heard some people say the players should have come off the pitch. Only the players can answer that. What I do know is the Premier League, as arguably and probably the biggest global output of the game that we love, football, has the biggest platform to make a statement. And I think they're going to have to do that, because as we enter into a new decade in a few days, this problem travels with us. It transcends into the new decade, because not enough has been done about it. So, the Premier League are going to, I don't have all the answers, but the Premier League are going to have to find an answer. The leagues around Europe and the rest of the world are going to find an answer, are going to have to find an answer, because the problem clearly is not going away. Whether that's stadium bans, whether that's points deduction, or it's certainly going to have to come to a stage where the players are going to have to leave the field, try and force federations to make a decision. That's the ugly side of this sport and other sports that we still face today, unfortunately. As for the game itself, Chelsea were magnificent. They were magnificent. Frank Lampard changed his tactics. He was brave. He outschooled his former manager, his mentor in Jose Mourinho. His Tottenham side never got a kick. Chelsea went to a back 3, 3 big, strong centre-backs in Zuma, Tomori, Antonio Rudiger. Alonso comes back into the side from the wilderness as a wing-back, his best position. Willian, wide on the left, was fantastic. He got himself a couple of goals, the second being a penalty, which was a penalty. Tottenham had a player sent off in the second half, Son, for raising a boot. It came under the violent conduct category. It wasn't violent conduct, and Antonio Rudiger did seem to make a little bit of a meal of it. However, by the letter of the law, you can't raise your foot up, and it was sheer stupidity. It went to VAR. He was sent off. The crux of this is Tottenham have had an absolutely abysmal day on and off the field. For Chelsea, the result will be sullied quite a lot, I would imagine, by the incident to at least one of their players. But in terms of what happened on the field, it was a 5-star performance. And it's up to the rest, and it is up to the authorities, the relevant authorities, to deal with the incidents that happened at the game today. Let's hope the Premier League take a big, strong stance on this matter for the reasons that I mentioned. They are a huge global brand, and themselves and others cannot afford to continue to sweep this kind of incident under the carpet.
Thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPNFC 7 days a week, subscribe to ESPN+.